Hi friends, I hope that everybody's doing well. Before we get into the reading, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. I'm seeing that you're going through some sort of transition or change right now. This seems quite inevitable the way that this is happening, but you might feel a bit unsure about the process. It may feel like a big ask to some of you. It's a feeling that you know that something is happening, but you may be having a hard time leaning into it. I'm looking at the Ten of Swords that we were starting off with. May have recently gone through a big ending. Rather than just allowing this to be without thinking about it, it looks like you are going to be in a space of trying to understand this more if you're not already. Some of you may be thinking about this, may have been thinking about this. I'm seeing seaweed or long grass. It looks like it's by the beach or a body of water. Okay, so this ending came at a surprise. You weren't expecting things to end in this way. You felt like you had no warning. For anybody new, I channel as well as interpret the tarot cards. So you weren't expecting this to end. At the time, it did not feel like something that you wanted. This would have felt like a blow to you, definitely, with the Tower here. In looking back at this, you may have, in hindsight, you may have kind of seen how it was going to go like this, or imagined that things would end like this, but from where you were standing when this occurred, this would have really caught you off guard. Because you could have thought that, like, maybe we're going through a rough patch or whatever, but we're going to stay together. Or, I can't imagine my life without this person, things like that. Or not being together with this person. Yeah, there's definitely a sense of sadness about this, feeling disappointed. Even looking back and being like, I should have done this over here. Maybe if I did that, this could have changed too. Just feeling like all around heartbroken in general. I'm hearing characterized by pain. This definitely looks like a process of grieving, like having the experience, having this feel very jarring to you, being in a place of having this be a hard thing to accept. And then right now I'm seeing this kind of like crowning that's happening of you being in a space where you're like, I can look back at this and not be okay with it, and I can feel sad and I can feel disappointed and I can feel anything that I feel about the past, but it's not going to change anything. And if I want to actually find the sense of fulfillment and my heart being connected with things, it means that I need to move on from this. It means that I need to move forward. And I'm seeing you getting to that space where you're really thinking about that and understanding that there's no way that we can change the past, and the best that you can do for yourself is to accept this. So I'm seeing you be in that space where, like, you've been thinking about this and realizing that, like, my life didn't need to end there. It doesn't need to end there. It can continue moving forward. And I can actually find what I'm looking for. And even though maybe things didn't go how I wanted them to go or how I expected them to go, I can accept that that's the way that they went. And that's what I'm working towards right now for myself. Because I do want to find a sense of fulfillment. I do want to find things that my heart feels connected with. I do want to carry on. I do want to move forward. A lot of heavy energy from that cycle. A lot of heavy energy with that cycle. I'm seeing, like, regardless of whether you were with someone for a long time or for a short time, I'm seeing a lot of intensity and like a lot of different things that happened. It may have felt like you lived an entire life with that person. Maybe even more than one lifetime. I'm hearing the bitter end with the Ten of Swords. Okay, so now that this has been processed, now that you're moving through, and now that you're in a place where you know for sure, like, I'm ready to move on from this, because it's not going to work unless you really get to that point where you're like, I decide that I'm going to do this for myself, and I want to find something that I connect with, and I'm allowing myself to walk away from this. So once you get to that point, I'm seeing you be in a space where, like, you've processed what you feel like you need to process, and you're ready for what comes next. Ready for what comes next. I'm seeing you, even though you're exploring, I'm seeing you take a more responsible approach. You may see it as being like that, like more careful, more methodical even, kind of gingerly stepping into this. Yeah, even though we're starting this second the second row of the spread with the Fool here, it doesn't feel like you are a novice. Novice is the word that I'm getting. What it looks like to me is that you are very much keeping in mind, like, your history that you had just lived through, and taking the wisdom from that and moving that into this cycle. So I'm seeing it definitely be something that through the experience that you've gained, there's insight that you now carry with you that you may not have been carrying with you before. And that's definitely one of the important takeaways from this experience that you've had. Definitely more methodical approach. So you recognize that you have an opportunity to explore and to step into things now. You have new opportunities that are coming for you, to you, things that you can engage within. In some ways, I'm seeing this does kind of feel like a mirror of where you were before you started this initial cycle. When you were starting that cycle where, like, things inevitably came to this end that you experienced, what you're doing now, you may feel in a way like this parallels it a bit. Interesting. Okay. Now, I'm seeing something you want to take your time with, right? You are starting something new where there are a lot of new opportunities. This is an exploration phase for you. I'm seeing that you have stepped into this and you're figuring out where you want to move forward to that. So you've kind of broken out into this new land, we can say. And you are making a plan. I'm seeing something about, for some of you, it's about delivering a message. For others of you, it's about, like, making an offer or proposing something to someone. Remember, energies can be reversed. I'm going to stick with one narrative so as not to make it confusing, and if you like, you can switch it. So I'm seeing you be in a space where you don't feel like you're tied to anything. You don't feel like you have an anchor. You feel like you have been liberated through this new space that you're in. You're making some sort of plan, or in general, you feel like you're getting more organized with stuff. And then I'm seeing this thought come to you, and now it's become even more of a thought that you are going to make an offer to somebody. Like, this is not something that you're doing on a whim. I'm seeing this be something where the idea came to you. You've been trying to figure out how to do this, the steps that you want to take. You're being guided to be patient with this, and to not forget like the overall like guidance and visions that you are receiving, the insight, all of that. This looks like an offer or a proposal or a gesture that you would be making towards somebody physically within your reality, in like carnal form, meaning I'm seeing this be something physically that would be taking place. Like, you are going to be connecting with another person, like in the form of a physical body. Because sometimes there can be like metaphorical references, like you're going to make an offer to this person, or like somebody's going to be reaching out, and it can be like a message that you get from your guides and whatnot. Within this scenario, I'm seeing somebody that like you would be physically interacting with another person here. For some of you, this can be happening in a work setting. This person could be in the same business as you. You may see this person as being, they may seem like a Saturn-ruled Capricorn type of energy. So yeah, either the person would kind of symbolize Capricorn to you, could actually be Capricorn Sun, maybe somebody with a stellium in Capricorn, and or it could be somebody within like a work environment, business environment, somebody that's in the industry, somebody that's in your industry. I'm hearing Mogul. You want to be mindful of what you're inviting into your life, because it looks like whatever this is that you are actively seeking out to connect with, that is what's going to come to fruition. And it looks very active on your part, like you're the one choosing, meaning like if you want to go make an offer to that rainbow unicorn over there, like that is what you are going to be bringing into your life. Because I'm not seeing like anything necessarily approaching you. I'm seeing you be the one that's doing the approaching. And I'm seeing you move towards something that you feel attracted to, whatever this is. In what sense, I can't say. You would know that for you, but it's something that you may feel extremely magnetized towards this person or towards this thing. I will say this as well. If you feel like you are repeating a cycle, you want to be mindful of that. Because if this was how things went down before, you want to be aware so as not to have to repeat another cycle that ended the way that the last one did. Because there could have, as I said before about this like paralleling energy, if before you were in a space where like the world was yours to explore and you found something that you felt very attracted to, something, someone, and you got very sucked into things and it became, I'm hearing a couple different words, but essentially it became discordant, I'm also hearing distorted in some way, because the devil can represent illusion, something like that. If things went in that direction and you felt like you became very codependent with something, or like you felt it had a very addictive component to it, and then inevitably it came to this ending where this thing was like taken away, snatched away, things ended, whatever happened, where you don't have connection or contact with that thing anymore, you want to be mindful that you're not doing the same thing. I'm hearing running the same game, so as not to have to repeat that again. That is the reason. So just, it's something to be mindful of. So I'm seeing you be in a space where, now this may just be, now in this cycle where you find yourself, this may just be something that you feel very attracted to, very into. It can be something that you feel passionately about, passionately towards, something that you really want to get involved with, want to get into, want to become a part of. Something that pulls you in. You want to ask yourself why this is, that this thing is pulling you in. What about it is drawing you? What vibration are you on? Like, why are you attracted to this thing? What is its appeal? And like, what chakra level is that hitting you on as well? I'm seeing you be in a space too where you want to prioritize like the progress that you're making too, and not wanting to have to repeat things either. Which means that you're also prioritizing change as well. And not sabotaging your growth as it would feel. So you're working through subconscious energy, working with this part of yourself that may feel empty, alone, separate. This can be something that you didn't actively recognize before. Feeling this desire, feeling this need to find something outside of yourself that you could connect with, that you could attach to, that would have you feeling less alone. And then coming to this conclusion, coming to this understanding that until you do that inner work and you can feel in solitude the sense of connectedness with everything, that there's not going to be anything you can find outside of yourself that will relieve that terminally for you. And I'm seeing this be something that may have been kind of sneaking up on you in a very, subconscious way. Something that you would kind of have to dig for to understand why something kept repeating in the way that it was. But I'm seeing you work with this part of yourself that does limit you, or has you feeling like you can achieve the things that you want to achieve. Or that you can't progress in the way that you want to progress. So we start off with an ending. This is over and done with. Now you're in a space of exploring, and I'm seeing you trying to pick carefully what this is that you're getting into, because you do not want to experience another tower, another ending like the way that you did before. So I'm seeing you carefully be making choices and carefully be planning. And it seems like you've been making progress not only with the steps that you've been taking, but also coming to terms with being more accepting, even understanding of yourself and these situations that you've been moving through. I'm seeing something about somebody being in a place of sadness or regret and coming through and making an offer, but I'm seeing that this is hidden. Somebody went towards something thinking they were going to find fulfillment, and then I'm hearing flatlined. It looks like somebody saw something shiny and went after it and thought that it was going to give them what they wanted, and then they realized that it was an illusion. To have the Eight of Cups and the Devil and the Five of Pentacles, like somebody went after something that they thought, this is going to be it for me. Like, this is going to do it for me. That's going to be the thing. And then it's like they got up close to it and realized that it was essentially a mirage. And then this person was in a space where they feel like they took a very, very big loss and feel like they got played by, like, even their perception, what they thought would be. But it's more than just that. It's like they got played by their attachment. So it's really just interplay, essentially, that's been happening. So I'm seeing somebody be in a space where they're like opening themselves up to wanting to collaborate, wanting to work together. Interesting. Yeah, somebody wants to create a joint effort is what I'm hearing. I'm looking at Mars, Pluto, Uranus, and then I'm looking at Pisces and Capricorn connecting with one another. I'm also looking at Mercury on the bottom of the deck and Venus. Yeah, somebody wants to like work together or have lives be intertwining or interconnected with one another. But for some reason, one of the parties looks like it would more so be the person presenting as an earth sign. Feels like there's some sort of issue or barrier, or that not everything would go over well. Someone feels anxious, essentially. Or feeling like they recognize that they want something and don't really know how to go about getting that, or feel like it's not going to be possible for them. It's somebody feeling even like they are in an impossible situation. But maybe because one has gained insight since all of this has happened and taken place. Whoever is identifying as the King of Pentacles, the Earth energy, I'm seeing that a release is going to be necessary. And I am seeing something about a message, sending a message to someone, but feeling like this is very heavy or very stressful. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.